child training. What do the two have to do with each other? Well, as you all know, our media likes to start, our stores like to start somewhere about Halloween. The Christmas catalog comes out, right? Buy, more, give me, I want. And mom and dad buy and buy. And then the church has decluttering classes so that we know what to do with all our stuff that we buy and buy. The kids don't appreciate it. Much of the stuff is destroyed within 24 hours. Am I speaking to someone here this morning?
Oh, that's good.
Church, everything that you read in the Bible about Christmas is truly people-oriented. Have you ever noticed that? What did Christ come for? He came for people. And as parents and as grandparents, I can truly tell you that what Christmas is all about is people. Is people. Now there are very, very many things that happen Christmas morning. Christ has almost or little to do with most of it. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that? Am I talking to the house this morning?
That's good.
I know we need to be making decisions. God wants to move in our lives. He wants to move in our hearts. He wants to do things for us. But we got to set some stuff in order. And Christmas, I believe, is one of them. Do you know that people buy and go into so much debt, and many of them will not be paid yet by next Christmas? Number one thing that you learn is if you have to put it on a credit card, you can't afford it. Talk to me. Does somebody agree with me? If you have to put it on a credit card, you can't afford it.
Yes.
And your kids don't need it. Your kids don't need it. If you would go into your kids' rooms right now, most of them have far more stuff in there. Go into your basements, there is so much stuff they can't even play with because there's no room. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't buy your kids stuff for Christmas. I'm saying God has given us a sound mind, and it's about time we start to use it.
Right.
Can I talk to you from my heart today? Can I tell you some of my own experience? I used to be a mom that had to buy and buy. I had to fight to somehow try and pay my bills and still buy my kids everything that they wanted. It was disaster from one end to the other. And one day, we sat down as parents and we said, this has got to stop. This has got to stop. We are doing our kids absolutely no good. We had spoiled brats on our hands and didn't know what to do with it. They weren't appreciative of the things that we brought them. They didn't appreciate the things that they got throughout the year. And we realized we were doing them a very, very big injustice. Now, I still get pale at the thought of that first year when we said, that's enough. Because it was painful for me to reevaluate and come to terms with what Christmas really was all about. And you know something, yesterday, we had Christmas. We usually have Christmas once a month or so, where we get together with our kids. But Christmas is all about people. And yesterday was a day when we had just decided that the kids were coming to our house for pizza and chicken. I was going to slave all day cooking. Thank goodness for So we called them up and said, why don't you come for dinner tonight? And they were excited. And you know what excited me more than anything else? My 17-year-old granddaughter phoned me at about 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock, somewhere in there. And she said, Grandma, I have company coming in for the evening. Can I bring them for supper? I said, well, of course. There's always room at our table for one more.
Yep.
Do you know how exciting that is when your 17-year-old granddaughter wants to come to Grandma's house? With her friend? With her friend? I said, but of course, and secretly kind of like I was not disappointed that she was bringing a friend, I was ecstatic that she was bringing a friend. I was kind of disappointed because I thought, well, you know, somebody's 17 years old and they're going to eat and run. Do you know that they stayed there all evening? They left only about an hour before their parents left. They stayed at Grandma's house and visited. That truly is what is important. And I realized very quickly that, you know something, when we bought and bought and bought and bought, our kids came home and they left. They couldn't hardly, they almost had to bring 2 vehicles to take all their stuff home. But when we stopped and we said, that's enough, that's not happening anymore, they still come home. They don't love us any less. We stopped with the gifts at my parents' house. It was the best thing we ever did. Now we throw a basket down. Usually we have a basket standing. We throw a basket and in it goes the money to pay for the Legion, which is important. We're going to have our gathering for the Legion Award. We throw a bucket down and any extra is a donation to the Legion. The Legion, when they get a donation, they appreciate it. And we all have a wonderful time visiting. But it's more about people. Now I can tell you from a grandma's heart, there is absolutely nothing more important than family that gets together. Pay attention to who your kids are. Pay attention to who your grandkids are. That's going to mean far more to them than any gift. It's going to mean far more to them if they can sit down and they can come to Grandma's house and they can introduce them or their friends to Grandma. Their friends are welcome at Grandma's house. That's going to mean far more to them in the long run than any gift ever will. Where you can say to your daughter's friends or your granddaughter's friends, if she's a friend of yours, then she's a friend of mine. And because she's a friend of yours, she's welcome in this home. That is going to speak volumes to your children. That is going to speak volumes to your grandkids. And that's going to speak volumes to the people that came over. So really, Jesus died, or Jesus was first of all born. He was sent